provided suggestions. And I forwarded a text from one of the Project Jupiter representatives, Tessa Beta, to you and other board members 2 minutes after receiving the notification of the date change. I just assumed it was going to be driven by the county because you're requesting it. And it's our meeting. It belongs to our county. It's our responsibility as county commissioners to move this meeting forward, whether you're for or against. September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, 9 months. You've been asking for this meeting to address our concerns as a community. Commissioners, we represent a body. As a body, we represent over 230,000 people, whether you're for or against. We've been contacted by hundreds of them. Phone calls, texts, emails, in person. More than the 50 people that just show up to this meeting. I can go out and I get stopped by people, pro and con for Project Jupiter. Are we just hearing, or are we choosing not to listen and understand what our residents want? You've asked for a robust meeting. You've urged us for a meeting. You've demanded a meeting. You've even begged us for a meeting. And you've begged for this meeting to answer well-founded questions, and we're still not listening, in my opinion. This open house and career fair is a great thing for those that want to attend that, but it's a bit of a distraction in my mind. And we've had enough distractions over the last 9 months. My proposal as the county commissioner and as a representative of a fraction of those 230,000 people in this county is that we meet on a Saturday, carving out time, and it's going to take hours because we must listen to our residents. We must explain how we're moving forward. Listen to what you want, what you're demanding, what your needs are. Economic development, jobs, air, water, land use, address everything, not just a portion of it, y lo que es conveniente para nosotros contestar. And sit there and listen so that our community doesn't have to sacrifice their time coming to meetings like this and missing what I mentioned earlier. And let's have a meaningful, thoughtful, rich, frank discussion to get an RFP and bring subject matter experts in. People wouldn't believe them. It might be a waste of time. We can't stop trying. We need to connect with our community. We can't stop trying to connect with our community. Never, ever, never. We talk about transparency and openness. Well, now's the time to step up. As for Project Jupiter representatives, Stack, Construction, Oracle, OpenAI, Bloom Energy, I'm open to suggestions. I prefer a meeting where we have the representatives, where we have our experts, and they may cost the county a little bit, but I think it's going to be less than what we're spending for the 250-year celebration for the United States. I was told that I invited this interaction today. Wow, the passion from both sides is wonderful. Thank you to both sides. Thank you, union workers. My daddy was a union worker. I appreciate it. And he didn't have a voice, but you have a voice here. And our community has a voice here. There's 5 of us. And we will direct county and county staff.
Commissioners have comments before I had a couple things to say, but Commissioner Chaparro, I appreciate your thoughts. Again, I think when you look at the town hall format and what we've seen by best practices by other local governments and how they've approached this, because what we've seen is that when there is a contentious subject, town hall meetings don't allow for true meaningful conversation. What ends up happening, and we've seen it, I'll recall one of the town halls that one of the commissioners was physically threatened, where police were called in. And people can shrug their things, but I'm just saying that's exactly what's ended up happening.
Just like you will.
And so what ends up happening is there's not that meaningful conversation to really understand and get information. And what we've seen is that this open house style does allow for that. Does allow to go down. No, there's a piece, there will be a piece where it's I'm sorry, sir, this is enough. There's enough from the, this is not public participation at this point.
This is my life.
What ends up happening is with an open house style, you can have direct one-on-one conversations and get those details, get those questions answered. And there's a lot of that information that doesn't always get that information to do that. And so that's where we're trying to go with this. And like I said, Commissioner Chaparro, we have several examples. We've seen local school districts. We've seen the city of El Paso do it this way. We've seen other communities do the open house style format. And so I understand wanting to have those direct, meaningful conversations. I completely agree. It's just we need to have them in a way that people can have those conversations and be able to get the details that they've been asking for.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
If I may, I'm confused because you said that we're moving forward when I got a message from our county manager that said it's their event. So I'm confused. So whose event is it? Because are we holding it as a county or are they holding it as the representatives from Project Jupiter? I'd like the answer to that because I don't know.
No, I think we've answered that. It is the company and the project that is putting it on.
Well, then I'm requesting a meeting with our constituents, and if we have to sit for hours and listen to our community, then let it be so. We can't stop trying. Again, we cannot stop trying to have a format that is, maybe it's a format the commissioners don't like. Maybe it's a format that some of our community members don't like. We're all going to have to give a little, and we're all going to.
This, if the questions everybody has are submitted beforehand so we can do research on them and have true answers, if that would be a way to help it a little bit. We know they have a lot of questions. Let's open a spot on the website where people can send us questions and monitor it so that we know what the questions are and respond to them, either at a meeting like this, a commission meeting, or at a town hall meeting, as Commissioner Chaparro suggests. It does appear to the community that we're not listening to their questions. And I know that this is a vocal group that comes and wants to talk about Jupiter, but we have people on both sides. So if we get questions from both sides, it'll be a little more balanced.
Commissioner Kimball, that seems like a good start to move forward so that our Chair Sanchez, we have subject matter experts at New Mexico Tech in Socorro, NMSU, UNM, the State Office of Engineer. I was sent a video, and I didn't write the name down, forgive me. I read hundreds and hundreds of pages last night, and
Or identified, because I will say very clearly that I did view the meeting from Brannigan Library, and some of the facts that were presented by the experts, which are were not totally true.
What's your degree?
And so that's
What's the degree you have?
and so that's one of the things that I look at is this information that's being shared by experts and how we do that. I think that's how we would have to define that. I would have to say then we would have to wait on a procurement process if we were going to be selecting or paying for said experts. And so this just gets, the can keeps getting kicked down the road. And so that's where I'm trying to say how do we address that?
Off and turn on in the same spots, and then